Hi, I'm Jay Bessel. I'm back from the local drop. Welcome back. We've got a few boxes in front of us today. We're going to talk about the Christmas white box today. So I've got 6 random bottles inside of this box here. I'm going to open up, have a little buzz through them, have a little taste, which makes me happy. So I have my wine knife, I have a service cloth and a spittoon, which I try not to use too often, but I might. So anyway, so the box arrives to you, to your home, beautifully packaged, of course. I'm going to open it up and have a look, and I'm trying not to peek inside. So I'm going to randomly select some random bottles, open some and have a little taste. Inside your box, of course, some beautiful note, hopefully to you. I won't have the gorgeous note, but I will have what arrives on the bottles as well. I do have the little swing tag, and that gives us a little bit of a description on the wine and gives us a bit of an inside story, but hopefully I'll do a good job today. So the first thing I've pulled out of the box, the first random act of wine, is this beautiful Muscadet from Huteau. This is great. It's brought in by a young chap that we know. He has small production stuff that tends to be family owned. 2 brothers are producing this wine. Muscadet is perfect for summer, of course. If you're having oysters to start on Christmas Day, this is the wine you're going to start with. So Muscadet is made from Melon de Bourgogne, which makes it a little bit more confusing than it needs to be, but don't worry, you're in safe hands with this producer. Importantly, left sur lie, and you'll see that on the label, which means it's been left on lees, and that builds a textural quality. And with this producer, they're well known for building texture. Wishy-washy Muscadet is not what we want. Let's see how we go here. That's a good way to start your day. So we're looking at Melon de Bourgogne, Muscadet from Huteau. Welcome back. So I'm going to stick my hand randomly into a random box of wine, but I know it's the Christmas box, so it's kind of a loaded thing. What do we have next? Bannockburn. So you're probably familiar with Bannockburn wines. Very famous, of course, for their Pinot Noir, their Shiraz. They produce some back vintage Riesling, which is great. This is Sauvignon Blanc. But don't be distracted, it's not just banged out for no apparent reason. This is wonderful wine. The attention to detail is extraordinary. So there's different ways you can treat Sauvignon Blanc. You can be lazy about it, you can just throw it into tank and then put it into bottle and then sell it. Or you can do some clever things. These guys have left 1/3 of it on skins to build textural quality. They've put 1/3 of it into puncheons and 1/3 into tank. So what you've got here is really well built Bannockburn Sauvignon Blanc. That's just looking terrific. Beautiful lifted aromatics. I know that's going to be texturally beautiful on the palate. This is a 15 vintage wine. There's no complaining here. So I'm going to put my hand into the random acts of wine again, thinking of a Christmas theme, and Riesling. If that isn't obvious, I don't know what is, but this is terrific Riesling. What we're looking at here is world-class quality Frankland Riesling from Western Australia. What I don't enjoy personally is the hard acid attack of a lot of the things coming out of South Australia, some sensitive understelvin. These wines have a certain delicate nature. They're pretty. You know that they're going to be looking like Riesling. They've got that lemon and beautiful limes thing going on, but there's something prettier in these wines. Terrific. So Rocky Gully is the second string from Franklin River. The wines sell out all the time, pretty rapidly. So they have younger vine selection and a couple of extra vineyards. So they make this extra pressing with this wonderful wine for everyday consumption. But this is everyday Christmas style, so you've got to be happy with this. That's great. 2016 Rocky Gully Riesling. So here we are, it's Christmas Day, we're travelling along nicely, we're going to need some more white wine. So I'm going to put my hand randomly into this box, and random is completely where it's at. Swing tag, of course, one of those along the way. This is great. Chidaine's very, very clever. So if you follow through the Loire Valley and you're looking at Sauvignon Blanc, there's lots of little pockets which are quite famous. Touraine tends to get a bad rap because the wines are just sort of banged out. This is not. 15 vintage from a very, very good producer. The focus in this wine was extraordinary to the point of where I tasted it the first time, popped it back in the fridge, and then came back to it later in the day because I was too convinced too quickly, and that's always a worry for me. But lo and behold, the wine looks so focused. Let's pop off this cap. 15 vintage, of course, a bit of a warmer year for the French, so the wine's a little bit more forward, so more what you're expecting. It still has the minerality behind it, but it has a bit more of a push of fruit. Cork's looking good. Yeah, that's just great. That smells spot on, just straight out of the glass. Beautiful fruit spectrum, but the way it finishes is what makes it so clever. completely focused. And we're looking at Francois Touraine, Francois Chidaine from Touraine, I should say, 15 vintage. So, travelling along, getting thirsty, looking for some more whites. Here we go. Now, if that's not an obvious label, nothing is. So, we're looking at Voyager estate here. They made a selection of Chardonnays, some of them more the top end, and then they have a range that travels down. But there's always a fine point of execution with all their wines. The great thing I love about this Girt by Sea, it's not built to be lasting forever, it's built for immediate consumption. And I think these wines absolutely over-deliver. Sensible down Stelvin, of course. The good thing about this particular Chardonnay is they haven't overly worked the oak. You're not getting wood chips for your dollar. What you're getting here is clear fruit from a very good producer. It smells like Chardonnay, undistinguished. It just, there's nothing else in the world except for Chardonnay from Western Australia that smells that way. It's got a creaminess, it's not overtly oaked. The important thing is not cloying in any way, it's quite nimble on the palate. This is a really good Chardonnay, Voyager estate. We're looking at 2016, Girt by Sea. It's kind of rummage in the box, but it's not rocket science. 6 bottles in the box. Okay, so, HANDPICKED. So this is Pinot Grigio. This has been made by the Collavini family in northern Italy, and they're really lovely people, very generous with their time and their wine. So if you're ever up in that part of the world, drop in and say hello. The cute thing about these people is they'll say, we're not quite sure if it's working out for the family on this winemaking process, because they moved from textiles to winemaking, just 150 years ago, but they're doing a damn fine job. So Pinot Grigio from this area, this is the way it should be. It's quite precise and focused. It's got that beautiful kind of golden delicious or Granny Smith apple kind of nose with some blossom. When it does finish nice and dry and crisp, you know you're drinking traditional Pinot Grigio from northern Italy. Spot on. HANDPICKED Pinot Grigio from northern Italy.